You've felt it before. That subtle shift when she maybe comes back from a lunch with her friends. Something's different. Her energy has changed. She's more critical, more distant, suddenly questioning things which were never issues before. What happened? Her girlfriend got into her head. One of your deepest suspicions is absolutely correct. Her friends are actively trying to sabotage your relationship. It's not paranoia, it's reality. Women in groups often engage in what psychologists call collective undermining. The systematic destruction of anything that threatens group cohesion. Your relationship threatens their dynamic. It pulls her away from their influence. It gives her happiness they don't have. So they work to destroy it. Not always consciously, but consistently. These toxic friends do not want her happy. They are, especially if you're in a great relationship, jealous as hell. They want her single and available, back in their misery circle where they can validate each other's poor choices. And they're skilled at it. They plant seeds of doubt constantly. They reframe your behavior as red flags. They create problems where none existed. Most men have no defense against this kind of invisible attack. They'll try to argue. They'll try to reason. They try to prove themselves. And they lose every time. Because they're fighting the wrong battle, in the wrong way, against an enemy they can't even see. Welcome to the Port Car Method, where I give men unshakable masculine frame using psychological leverage and dominance, which simply works. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly how to neutralize her toxic friends and strengthen your relationship in the process. This isn't about controlling who she sees. That's a game you can't win. Instead, this is about becoming the man whose presence is so powerful that outside influences bounce off your relationship like hail off a steep roof. We all used to believe that if we just treated women well enough, her friends would naturally support our efforts. We dreamed of having her friends as our allies, thinking they'd appreciate how happy we made her. That dream was shattered repeatedly. I know you've had the same experience. I have watched dozens of solid relationships get sabotaged by so-called besties who couldn't stand to see their friend happy while they remained miserable. First, you need to understand what's really happening. Her girlfriends aren't always attacking you directly. They don't need to. They're exploiting her natural tendency to seek consensus and validation from her social circle. Women prioritize group harmony. Their survival once depended on it. When her friends unanimously question your relationship, it creates genuine psychological distress in her. So this isn't about logic, it's about tribal alignment. So how do you counter this invisible threat? Understand you don't fight her friends. You don't criticize them. You don't even acknowledge the attack. Instead, you focus on 5 core ingredients which make your relationship psychologically bulletproof, immune to the bestie bullshit. First, unwavering consistency. When her friends try to destabilize her view of you, consistency becomes your strongest defense. Not boring predictability, strategic consistency. Your principles don't change based on her mood. Your boundaries don't shift to please her friends. Your purpose remains your own, and you remain on your path. This creates a psychological anchor that makes outside opinions seem chaotic by comparison. I know you're afraid of coming across as controlling or insecure if you establish firm boundaries around her friendships. That fear is quite normal. Society has conditioned you to believe that any boundary you set with a woman makes you the villain. And I'm sure her girlfriends will back that up. But here's the truth. Women are not attracted to men who are afraid to set boundaries. They're attracted to men who know exactly what they will and will not tolerate. When you establish clear expectations about her friendships, you're not being controlling, you're being a leader. Number 2, calibrated unpredictability. While your core remains consistent, your actions should never be fully predictable. Surprise her with thoughtful gestures that her friends cannot anticipate or diminish. Don't be the man whose every move can be mapped and mocked. Be the man whose next action keeps her wondering, keeps her interested, keeps her defending you when you're not there. Third, emotional leadership. When she returns from these little toxic coffee sessions, she'll be emotionally charged. Most men match that energy. They get defensive. They get emotional. You do the opposite. You become calmer, more centered. You don't react to her chaos. You absorb it, process it, and lead her back to stability. This creates a stark contrast between your leadership and her friend's drama. Fourth, strategic silence. And yes, I've made an entire video on that one. When she tests you with her friends' opinions, most men rush to defend themselves. They explain, they justify, they plead their case, and they lose all their power in the process. Instead, meet her tests with strategic silence. Let her words hang in the air. Watch her. Stay completely still. Then respond with a question that puts the burden of explanation back on her. Say something like, "Is that what you think?" Or what someone told you to think, because that doesn't sound like something you would have said just yesterday. Then go silent again. Let the question do the work. The impulse to confront her bestie on her bullshit directly is natural. You want to call them out, to expose their manipulation. But that approach backfires spectacularly. It positions you as the aggressor and them as the protective friends looking out for their girl. Instead, we'll use something far more effective. Call it psychological judo. We'll let their own negative energy become the very thing that strengthens your relationship. So number 5, positive reinforcement. When she resists her friend's influence and chooses loyalty to your relationship, reward this behavior immediately. Not with gifts or compliments, but with your genuine approval and presence. This creates a psychological loop where standing with you against outside influence becomes more rewarding than giving in to peer pressure. Now let's address the specific tactics her friends are using and how to counter them. They'll employ the comparison trap. Her friends will constantly compare you to other men, celebrities, their own exes, or maybe perfect boyfriends in their social circle. They are creating impossible standards to cause perpetual dissatisfaction. They'll suggest she could do better or that she's just settling with you. This plants seeds of doubt about her choices to stay with you. Never counter, never compete, never defend, never take offense. If your girl repeats those comparisons at you, Agree with her. Suggest she go hunt down one of those better men and enjoy a much happier life. One of the uglier truths about women is that you must be absolutely willing to lose her in order to keep her. Nothing will impress your girl more than your calm nonchalance in the face of that level of attack, especially if she expected you to crumble and grovel. Trust me, if she didn't expect you to fail that test, she would never have said those words. The bestie will also try past excavations. They'll dig up old arguments, past mistakes, things you've already resolved, and present them as evidence against you. Your counter? Refuse to revisit closed chapters. Remind her that you have both addressed those issues. Move forward. You're interested in your future, not recycling a past you should both already have learned from. Then there's the lack of freedom angle. They'll frame your relationship as a constraint on her freedom, her fun, her youth. Your counter is easy. Reframe the relationship as her choice, not her cage. She chooses this every day. The moment it doesn't serve her, she can choose differently. That is real freedom. And let me share something I've observed across hundreds of coaching sessions, men from all walks of life. The relationships which survive bestie sabotage aren't the ones with the most attraction or the best sex, although that second one does help. They're the ones where the man understood he wasn't just in a relationship with his girl, he was in a psychological war with her entire social circle. The men who win this war aren't the most handsome or the most wealthy. They're the ones who master the psychological principles I'm sharing with you today. The most powerful response to all these attacks remains the same. Become so secure in your value to your girl that her friends' opinions become irrelevant. Don't try to win them over. Do not seek their approval. Don't even acknowledge their influence. Instead, focus on deepening your connection with your girl in ways her friends cannot touch or begin to understand. Create experiences they can't replicate. Build inside jokes they're not part of. Establish rituals that belong only to the two of you. That creates a relationship ecosystem which exists outside of their reach. Remember, her friends can only influence her when the connection between you is weaker than her need for their validation. Your job is to make your bond the strongest force in her emotional world. Now, would it be difficult for you to pause right here? Take a second to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and do please leave me a comment about a time when some bestie tried to interfere with your relationship. Give me specifics if it's going on right now. I'll give you the best advice available anywhere. Write in the comments. We are here to help. And remember, your engagement helps more men discover these strategies and build relationships that can't be sabotaged by outside feminine influences. If you're serious about building a relationship that's immune to feminine manipulation, visit Port Car Merchants right now. Download our free guide, The 7 Secrets. Learn psychological triggers most men will never understand. We also offer one-on-one mentoring for men committed to the transformation. Limited spots are available, so schedule your free 15-minute consultation today. That's portkarmerchants.com. Learn the Port Car method, my friend. Never be lied to or cheated on again.